Welcome to Cosmic Echoes. Morning, Sue.
Morning.
Yes, morning. Leave it like that.
Yes.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Wasn't it nice to have some heat? Well, it was quite intense, but it was
Yes.
kind of changed things a bit, doesn't it?
It's
You know.
changed. I think it's changed people's perception,
Mm,
or the perception that actually this is here to stay. This is a
yeah,
shifting in climate now that we're
yeah,
now going to be experiencing more than not.
yeah.
And I think it's woken people up to thinking, blimey, there is that climate change is,
Mm,
there's something happened to our climate.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think I was very grateful that I listened to myself and I got all that extra water in
I
barrels and
see.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've
yeah,
done, yeah, we talked about that last
yeah,
time, didn't we, about get water barrels.
yeah,
Um, the garden is fecund.
yeah.
It loves it. And it
Yes.
feels a bit like a tropical forest at the moment because it's just
Yeah,
rained.
that's
So
it.
I think we're having to get used to um, the storm that we had. I don't know if you had it. The tropical
Yeah,
storm last week was absolutely sensational. Now,
yeah.
I hadn't experienced a tropical storm like that since I was in India,
Oh, wow.
and I'd never experienced this here. So,
Yeah,
yes, our climate is changing.
yeah. And so are we.
And so are we.
Yeah,
We have to learn to adapt now.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Um,
unease, I think, knocking about at the moment.
yes. Because we're not used to uncertainty,
Yes.
because because it's a difficult thing. We had a quick kind of chat about it earlier, about, you know, whatever it is you're doing, there's always inevitably there's going to be a shift. There's going to be change, whether it's, our lifespan, we go through these shifts, but also as a society and as a humanity and as the earth, everything shifts, and to live in sync with each other, is quite a
It's hard.
empowering
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. I think, and also don't forget the moon shows us the new moon is shows us that, it doesn't stay as a new moon, it keeps
Yeah.
moving,
That's it.
and and into the waxing side, then there's a peak, there's always a peak of
Mm.
something, whatever you're doing, you will peak at some point, and
Yeah.
then it's the waning side, it's then sort of reaping what you've sown
Yeah.
in the early part of the cycle of life,
That's it.
and that's our life. Ourselves, we peak around about 40,
Yeah.
and then we start the waning part of our cycle. That's very much what Jung said, Carl
Yeah.
Jung. At midlife, really after midlife, that's the waning part of our life. We really need to be thinking about how we want to die. What do we
Yeah.
want to take into our deathbed? What do we want to contribute to life, so that we can actually feel that we've had a fulfilled life. And I think he's dead on the money.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. And the
Yeah.
first part of our life is learning. It's very out there, grabbing life. And
Yeah.
I always say to my clients, you're at life school until you're 40. Then
Mm.
you go to senior school at
Yeah.
40 to 50. Then you go
Yeah.
to university and you choose your major at 50,
Yeah.
60. 60 you do your MA, and 70 you do your PhD.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's depth in as we go on. There is the choice of being present within all of that. Um,
Yes,
but it is also important to know that there are these shifts, even in those university days.
yes.
You're not the same as a first year when you're doing your masters. Your
No.
consciousness, your level of participation is different.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's an evolutionary spiral.
yeah,
Hopefully that we're always being chucked. I mean, astrology, if you're into astrology, you
mm,
realize that life is never static. It may feel static at times, but my God, and that's when you're learning, you've got your feet to the fire, or Saturn sitting on your sun, or I don't know,
yeah,
wherever it's sitting in your chart, and it's just going,
yeah,
pay attention.
yeah, yeah.
Grow up.
And
And
stop
then
rushing. Just
yeah,
be,
and then
yeah,
if you don't take that on board, bingo, it comes back. So
yeah,
and Saturn, all the planets go through this, the seed moment, which is the conjunction. Then
yeah,
it goes then it goes to the square, then it goes to the opposition, and then it goes to the waning square, and it goes back to the to the newness again, the conjunction. This
yeah,
is happening all the time with all the planets. So
yeah,
we're always in a process of becoming,
yeah,
of releasing,
mm,
becoming, releasing.
yeah, yeah. As within, as what, as above, so below. Yeah, as within, so without.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think,
Yeah.
the Hermetic teachings were so powerful and so true. And
Mm,
I think I have a friend who's going through a particularly challenging time at the moment. That's her perception. And
yeah.
it's quite, it's a good drama. It's a very, very convincing,
Yeah.
I'll put it that, it's a very
Yeah.
convincing drama. And she's right in the middle of the drama.
Mm,
And, looking back in life, I see how I got swept up in
mm,
drama. And that took over my life at the time. And then
yeah.
you look back at it and you just go, well, what was
Why?
that about? But
It's
in the moment, you
yeah.
can't see clearly. And
No.
I had a look at her chart, and the chaos is because she's got Neptune right opposite her a stellium, a
Ah,
Libra stellium,
yeah.
right bang opposite, which means Saturn is also going over her stellium. Of course, she's in chaos.
Yeah.
Is asking her, what do you want to do now you're an older person?
Yeah. Difficult question. Especially if you're caught up in the drama, because then you can't necessarily just pause and reflect.
No, you can't
Mm,
get clarity.
mm,
And I think that's the scary thing when you're sitting in the, what I call it, I said to her, you're sitting in the liminal space.
yeah.
One door is closing,
Mm,
another one, but the next door hasn't opened. So you're
yeah.
sitting in this space of, what do I do with this? There's
Yeah.
nothing there. I don't feel I'm kind of on a, it's not even feeling like a bridge, because a bridge solid. You go, no, I'm going over the bridge. It isn't even that. It's just
Yeah.
having to absolutely trust the flow of the universe will take you to the next door, which will
Mm.
open at some point, because it always does.
And
Whether you
that's
go
the
through that
trust
door is
bit.
up to you.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still your choice. There's still a choice in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
To
think,
release.
yeah, and I think when we have these crises, these dramas, what it's inviting us to do is step away from the South Node, what we know,
Mm.
the comfortable jumper that we've been attracted to. That's it's really, I know I don't really like it, but it's really comfortable here, and I'm going to stay here because I know it.
Yeah.
And the growth is, well, actually, take what you've learned from the South Node, but your journey is to go across the waters to the
Yeah.
North Node,
Yeah.
and at least be open to the call of the North Node. And
Yeah.
that's the struggle, that's the journey, it's hard. It's
It is
scary and
hard.
hard.
Yeah. And sometimes we even stay there in this comfortable and uncomfortable moments because it's what we know.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's comfortable. I'll stay in this relationship. It doesn't work particularly well for me, but I know
Yeah.
where my scissors are.
Yeah.
I know what the color of my front door is. I don't particularly like what's in the house, but
Yeah. I
yes,
know
we
it.
do. And we know that people who are abused in a relationship will go back 27 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
27. That's
Yeah.
that's the statistic. So it's
Yeah.
very hard to break with what we know. Yes. And it's
Yeah.
also, on the other hand, it's really hard for people who like cosmic gypsies to stop
Mm.
and become grounded.
Yeah.
and to become stable. So all of us are in the pot of constant change and evolution. And if it isn't a physical change, there's stuff going on inside us. And it's
Yeah,
whether we
always.
acknowledge it or not.
Yeah, always. Yeah. So know thyself.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
don't forget, we're now in Mercury retrograde
Mm.
now. So yesterday, yes, it's the 1st of July. Yeah,
Mm.
no, 2 days
One
ago,
day. Yeah.
Mercury went retrograde.
Mm.
So I don't put a lot of emphasis on Mercury retrograde personally,
Yeah.
but it does, a lot of people do. And
Yeah.
so it can be this sort of more chaotic or delays or
Mm. Technology.
yeah, yes, it can be. It's interesting because of Mercury is the mind, so it's a really good time to use Mercury to revisit past decisions that you've made,
Mm.
or how is that decision playing out? What is the consequence of it?
Mm.
Or any form of unfinished business may return to
Mm.
be addressed. So
Yeah.
there might be difficult conversations. That's very Mercury. Um,
Mm.
so it is about, so it's, and it goes on till the 23rd of July. So it's the
Yeah.
majority of July. And of course, in July, big breath, we have we have got some very interesting things going on.
Yeah.
We have. Now, where do we start? So, yes, the first kind of doing is we've got Mars
Mm.
conjuncting
Mm.
Uranus on the 4th of
Mm.
July. Isn't that bizarre? The
But I
Americans
remember
are like,
last year
oh
also
my
there was
God.
it's always the 4th of July, there's something, and this is how we structure our history, I think, we forget that it is still got an astrological base to most of these big things. Yeah. So Mars conjuncting Uranus, tell us more, Sue,
That's a
because it
boom.
sounds a bit.
It can be a boom. Let's hope it isn't. But then don't forget that Uranus is now is going to be around 4 degrees, making these aspects to Pluto and to Neptune. They're all at 4 degrees. And
Mm.
this is a very interesting chap. Now I learned about him through dear old Dan Waits,
Yeah.
who is doing a great job. He's done a fantastic video on on July, really
Yeah.
worth listening to.
Yeah.
But he was talking about, and forgive me for murdering this man's name, Andre Babaut's perspective. Now he was a mundane astrologer, and he spotted this particular 4 degrees configuration. It looks like a cradle,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Years ago. Now he has said that so this chap,
Yeah.
he said back in the day that he referred to July the 2026, this alignment, as a beautiful configuration, believing it could be the beginning of a new era of, let's say, international cooperation and renewal. Now, it's not playing out like that. What Dan Waite said, which I found so interesting, he said, you know what? We have to learn to leave the cradle. To
Mm.
grow up, we have
Mm.
to leave the safety of the cradle, of course, because we grow
Yeah.
out of it. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I don't know. Other astrologers have said that July is when the new world begins to reorganize itself because, this was all sparked off by the Saturn Neptune configuration in February. You
Yeah.
know, uh, so it sort of feels like the 4 degrees is the very early degrees in the astrological signs.
Mm.
So there are new, it's seed time. It's a
Mm.
seed, it feels like a seed time. I don't know. I think it's multiple cycles. These outer planets have massive cycles
Yeah.
and they've come together to create some kind of cosmic symbol that we've got to pay attention to. And then da 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 da. On the 20th of July, we have this Pluto
Versus.
Jupiter opposing Pluto.
Mm,
I don't know. It's not comfortable. Um,
yeah.
I would say that's not a comfortable configuration because we've got Pluto, a Lord of when he's in Aquarius,
Old. Yeah.
changing everything, bringing everything
Yeah.
to the surface, and death and
Yeah.
war and
Yeah.
control. All the control freaks. Oh my God,
Yeah.
the whole world's run by control freaks. Very
It
bizarre.
is.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got right opposite going, we've got Jupiter expansive in
Yeah.
Leo, the king.
Yeah.
So Jupiter is the king of the gods and Leo's the king of the beast. So we've got this double king feeling of I'll tell you what to do. And Pluto,
And
Lord,
look at me in Leo,
yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
So oh God, I can't make predictions, but I wonder if one of the leaders are so-called leaders. I don't like using the word for them anymore
Yeah.
as leaders, these
Yeah.
people that are destroying the planet. I wonder if something is going to happen to one of them or some of them.
Yeah. Which would not necessarily be a bad thing,
Well,
to initiate us into a new world. And I think, talking about this cradle concept that you saying, I hear in there that there is a sense of or a call to, us owning our sovereignty, us, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
This configuration, this when it's really tight, it forms it from the 15th of July to the 22nd. So it isn't an event, it's a process.
yeah.
So it feels like, and they come one after the other into locked to be locked in. It
Mm,
feels like that it's a kind of it feels like a bit of a wave rather than event. I don't think
yeah,
it's an event. I think it's a kind of a
yeah,
wave of well, the outer planets are all about, the transpersonal.
yeah,
So, God, dear God, let's hope we all wake up.
yeah.
I don't know.
All this shift, this shift that Dolores Cannon was also talking about, that
Yes.
kind of maybe it's not meant for us all to wake up, but maybe it is for us that are awake to step into that, to own it.
Well, it's an interesting one, and I don't know if you're feeling like this or anybody out there is feeling like this, but I am very much called to acknowledge that we live in a very populated universe. And
Yeah,
I've taken a long time to get here, but
yeah,
now I'm pretty convinced
mm,
that we are. And I'm being called very much to develop my telepathic skills
yeah,
and see if it is possible to start a communication with otherworldly beings. Now,
yeah,
this might sound absolutely mad to some people, but there's an awful lot of us being called to do this, and it's
yeah,
like there's a collective thing going on here. Is we
mm,
need to start looking up, and it isn't
yeah,
about being overwhelmed by them.
mm,
I think a lot of people don't like Stephen Greer.
yeah,
I've been listening to him quite a bit recently because whether I like him or not doesn't matter. I think he's absolutely dedicated to what he does and
yeah,
totally authentic to what he does. And he's created this, it's called a CE5 protocol, which enables, which is about how to open up your sort of your communication abilities to see if there is anything there that wants to
yeah,
communicate with you. So I'm curious
yeah,
about this, and I always listen to these calls.
mm,
And the more people I'm speaking to about them, the more people are going, do you know what? I want to set a group up, as well. And
Yeah.
out of the blue, I was speaking to a friend yesterday who I haven't spoken to for, I mean, ages, years, a year,
Yeah.
if not more.
Yeah.
And blow me down, she set a group up
Oh, wow.
and they
Oh,
meet
wow.
regularly to develop their telepathic communication. And they go out and they just see, they haven't seen anything yet, but they've
Yeah.
got feelings. They
Oh,
have had experiences.
oh, wow.
Yeah. So I
Interesting.
think it's really interesting. And
Yeah.
if you're up for it, anyone, Stephen Greer's film is on Amazon Prime, and
Yeah.
it's called CE5, and it's about what happened when he took a group of people into the Arizona desert and did the protocol. And I assume it's not AI.
Yeah.
I assume it's pretty convincing what happened.
Okay. Well,
Pretty,
I'll
pretty
be going to
convincing.
watch it. I
Yeah.
must say I have been advocating for not necessarily outwards, but for us as humans. I think we can communicate telepathically a lot more than we want or do admit. I don't think technology or phones or that is necessary for us to be in touch with each other.
Yeah.
I have that a lot with people that you have conversations with them in your mind, and it's reciprocal. They go, oh yes, I've also been talking to you in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting how remote viewing now is becoming
Mm,
more and more popular. I think we're
yeah.
this is I think probably this is what was all closed down.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
these spiritual
Control.
control. We started to be controlled. Don't
Yeah.
want to knock the church, but it
Yeah.
did a good job on us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah. And it continues doing so for some.
it
It's
continued.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's an interesting. I had a client not so long ago
Mm,
who's very interested in this, but she comes from one of the Abrahamic faiths.
yeah.
And she said, I'm terrified to do it because I might go to hell.
Hmm.
So we had to have a conversation about belief systems and
Yeah.
programming. And it
Yeah.
has to be her, it had to be her decision, of course.
Yeah.
But she knows she's been programmed. But it's
Yeah, but
about,
the level of fear, I mean, because
yes,
God will strike you down, whichever
yes,
God it is you believe in. But
yes.
yeah,
Yes. So it was
yeah,
a very interesting conversation for me that I haven't been in that matrix, that belief matrix for decades.
yeah,
So it always takes me by surprise when somebody is,
yeah,
but the willingness for this person to at least question it
yeah.
was
It's huge.
hugely courageous for her.
Yeah, very, very huge.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I think the other thing, just to finish off July, is the nodes on the 27th, 26th, 27th.
Yeah.
They move into Aquarius. So there's this 18 months. So they've been in swimming around in Pisces for the last 18 months, and now they're moving into Aquarius. And of course, that's where Pluto is. So
Uh,
Pluto's at one end of Aquarius, and the nodes are going to be another, and they're going to be very slowly, slowly,
mm,
slowly coming together. So
yeah.
I think that's going to be a big shift in destiny. And for
Mhm.
me, a lot of people talk about technology and Aquarius, absolutely very futuristic. But I think it's really interesting that Aquarius is ruled by two planets. We've got
Yeah.
Saturn and we've got Uranus. So
Yeah.
we all know what Uranus is up to. It's in Gemini, going yippee do. I'm not being and sending off messages and doing everything. Um, uh,
Mm,
Ideas. I mean, it's
yeah.
loving it being. It's going to love it in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Pluto is digging up really, I think everything to do that's been hidden about this whole concept of what humanity is.
Mm,
And I always think of Saturn, if you know the myth of Saturn. I'm not going
yeah.
to go into the myth, but he actually did after he was chucked out of as the king of the gods by Jupiter, his son. He set up the golden age. So a lot of Aquarians have an ideology
Mm,
about what the golden age is. That's very Saturn.
yeah.
The futuristic is we don't know, but let's go into the technology and do our thing. That's very Uranus and
Mm,
very quick. And Saturn goes, no, 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 no. Let's just let's just slowly grow the golden age.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes Aquarians so quirky. They are attached to this ideology of utopia.
Mm,
And that's what I think uh, Pluto's digging up. And I
yeah.
think we're going to change our relationship with death.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't
Yes,
that be nice? Yeah.
yes. And give
Yeah.
us give ourselves the humanity of being able to choose how we want to die. I do.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
yet because it's been chucked out of the house of,
Yeah.
the right to die.
Yeah.
I think over the next decades, I think we will have that, and that will be Pluto's gift to
Yeah.
us.
But it is becoming more of a conversation. Canada, it is showing us more about that. It's I've been seeing people close to me that are doing rituals for people that have
Yes,
chosen to pass, which for
yes,
me is
absolutely.
very, very good. I don't
Yeah,
know what
it
the right
is.
word is, but it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Because we do have choices in life and death.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what Pluto that's going to be the gift of Pluto. For me, that's the
Yeah.
gift of Pluto in Aquarius to give us back our humanity,
Yeah.
while Uranus, the other side of it, is going, no, I want to be like Elon Musk and have a thing in my head. So I
Yeah.
think this is the great divide. This
Yeah.
is the great split.
Yeah, which is
So
which is great because then we don't need to convince anybody. We don't need to change anything. We can just follow what
yeah,
is true, our
yeah,
truth. Yeah,
yes,
what
what
makes
feels
sense to
right to
us.
us.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think, that the thing is the issue is, isn't it, when we lock onto something, we think that's the only way.
that's
And that
it. Yeah,
isn't it. It's
no,
one way.
no, and that's coming back to that hermetic teachings of being able to hold both.
The
Um,
tensions
you
of
know,
both. Yeah.
polarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I think it's going to be I think July is what is it? It's what is the word to describe July? Maybe, okay, the image is coming to me is a kind of a canal lock.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's going to let the
yeah,
boat through. So,
yeah,
yeah, and you can go up or down on a lock, and
yeah,
it's a lovely experience, but it takes a
yeah.
bit of effort to get to open the locks and do that. I just would very quickly need to go into the moons because that's what we're meant to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So
And
we've got,
and the retrogrades, because there's Neptune going retrograde,
yes,
there's Saturn going
Saturn goes,
retrograde.
Neptune goes retrograde on the 7th, so that's
Yeah.
in a couple of days' time. So it's a real major review of humanity's ideals. We'll have
Yeah.
to wait and see illusions, delusions,
Yeah.
addictions, behavior, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it may be that you'll receive quite profound revelations. That's very much Neptune. The
Yeah.
mist might clear or the mist might close in. But
More
you're
of a
going,
dream
it
state
is,
kind of. Yeah.
yeah, it's in Aries. So the sort of how do you want to develop spiritually?
Mm. Mm.
What do you want to contribute?
Yeah.
Then we have Saturn stations retrograde on the 26th of July.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is very much, how can I physically in manifest these dreams, these Neptunian dreams about creating something that can really help other people.
Mm.
And I think, it's the enthusiasm of Aries, that let's get out there and do it. And
Yeah.
Saturn going, whoa, Neddy. It's about
Yeah.
discipline. To create something long-standing, we need discipline and structure and responsibility. And
Yeah.
that's Saturn's job to do that. So
And
we've
that's
got
around
that.
the same time as the nodes.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
the nodes go on the 27th. That's right.
Yeah.
Is that right? What I've just said what they
26,
were.
27,
Yeah,
26.
the 27th.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's really interesting. So
Mm.
there's a big shift
Mm.
of can can we well, how can we use this seed moment that happened in February between
Yeah.
Saturn and Neptune? How can we really begin to build on that? Physically manifesting it. I've always said I think there's going to be a lot of false gurus knocking about. And I
Yeah,
think there's going to be some extraordinary teachers coming up as well.
yeah. And at the same time, I feel that we have changed our relationship with teachers, that we're not as dependent on that holding on to the guru. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's a freedom in that as
yeah,
to I choose to hold what you teach
yeah,
for my, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and you know, and I think this whole concept of this is what I'm doing with the C5 stuff. I'm
yeah,
learning about it. Then I'm going to create my own group
yeah,
and run it in the way that my group wants to.
yeah, yeah.
What works for my little community.
Exactly. So it's not an autocratic kind
No,
of, okay, this is what's his name? Stephen Greer said,
yeah,
and this is how we're gonna
yeah.
follow him and be like him. It's more of a human-centered.
And guess what? I haven't had to train. I haven't had to. I haven't
Didn't
had to
have to
pay
get a
a
piece of
lot of
paper.
money over to say I can do this. I
You're already trained because,
Exactly.
yeah,
So I think that's another thing,
yeah,
how much training do we need? Because a lot of people are very addicted. I need to do the next thing, the next thing.
yeah,
What about just, trusting that you're pretty
yeah,
cool and the universe will show you if you want to, if you do need to do more training because
yeah.
things won't quite go right.
But inherently, we've lost that wisdom, our own wisdom,
Yes,
our holding on to and yeah,
yes,
trusting,
yes.
trusting that.
So I
The
think it's
moons.
I just want to hang on to Saturn retrograde because
Mm.
and I'm going to come back because the next 2 days later we got the full moon in Aquarius on the
Yeah,
29th. So it's
yeah,
quite an Aquarian, it's got a big
right.
Aquarian field to this. But let's
Mm,
just go to the new moon in Cancer on the 14th. Um so the symbology, let me just get the chart up. Am I here? Give me 1 minute. No, it's not there. New moon. Where are you? Oh, here we go. There we go. Uh, Here we go. The new moon. Yes. Um, it's an interesting. It's yes. It's we've got the new moon in Cancer, and it's right next door to Mercury retrograde. So
yeah,
Mercury retrograde is conjunct this, so it may not and Cancer is, I think it really is, really deeply thinking about our sense of belonging. What does it mean? Where do we feel safe? That's very Cancer. Um,
mm,
what does home mean to us? How can we nurture ourselves well
mm,
in this very mad world? And how can we develop resilience? Um, you know, to go through the changes that we cannot resist anymore. I mean, we're riding on the wave, aren't we, really?
yeah,
So it sort of feels like Cancer is lovely because although it's cardinal, its job is to reach out to create home anywhere it goes
yeah,
and to bring that attention to us. So I think there's a lot going on there. And then we will have had no, we're building up. We are in, that's the process of building up to Jupiter opposing Pluto. So I
yeah,
think it's really important to really ask, how can you create resilience and what does resilience mean to you? Even if it's putting a little bit more food in the cupboard or water
yeah,
in the cupboard or
yeah.
whatever it is for you, or
Yeah.
yeah, or staying home a bit more, you know, just being
Packing up all your stuff and going across the ocean.
yeah,
Get home.
well,
Yeah,
this
get
is
home.
July. I think August is a little calmer, but July
Yeah,
is certainly a little bit pokey. So that's the new moon, and then the full moon. Have I got the full moon here?
on the 29th.
Here we go. On the 29th. Yep. Here we go. The full moon. So that's 2 weeks later. As I said, it is in Aquarius. So I think it's really interesting with Saturn. It comes just after Saturn turns retrograde. And of course,
Mm.
Saturn is one of the rulers of Aquarius. So I think it's going to this utopian feel. So
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Collective consciousness, all the full moon Aquarius is all about humanity, technology, innovation, social reform. And I
Mm.
think with Pluto, in fact, Pluto is right next door to the moon on the full moon. So the moon's in Aquarius at 6 degrees, and Pluto is at 4 degrees. So retrograde at the moment. So I don't know. I think there is the moon is again about home, or the
Yeah.
Aquarius is about humanity. So
Yeah.
maybe it is this digging up, this exposure of what humanity means to each one of us, social reform.
Mm.
So it kind of feels like it may be an illumination of what also these aspects between Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto create. So
Yeah.
there's an illumination going on, and of course, on the other side of the coin, with the sun in Leo, it's absolutely conjunct Jupiter. So that's going to expand the illumination.
Yeah.
So we'll have to just see. It's individual freedom versus the collective responsibility, and I think that sums up beautifully what we're all going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. New communities and collaborations, let's hope.
Yeah. That would be good.
Lots of breakthroughs. I think,
Mm.
maybe a glimpse of what is coming, more of what is coming, but then
Yeah.
you can't predict. You could, it's themes, but I
Yeah.
think it's a very strong, very, very strong new moon at the end of the month with Saturn going retrograde in the next couple of days. So
Yeah.
it's action packed.
Well, we had our little lull last month, didn't we? So
We had our lull.
going back into it.
And what I would say to everyone is fill up your cars
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
or tomorrow,
Yeah.
certainly before the 20th of July, when
Yeah.
Jupiter opposes Pluto. I think that could be a time of more
Bit of a
aggression.
bone. Okay. Yeah.
And
I
it's
think,
change, isn't it? We are in the chaotic change of the liminal space of change. We have one door is closing, there's no question about that, and another one hasn't opened yet. We have
yeah.
no idea how this is going to turn out. It's
Yeah.
called trust.
Yeah. It's not an easy thing though. And I think it's so empowering because I do believe we chose to be here at this time. And that is enough at the moment for me. So how it
Yeah,
unfolds is going to be interesting. Um,
yeah,
I do know that there is movement. Movement or change is uncomfortable. I also think that there is, you were talking about the humanity, what it means to be human. And I think we are going to be put against the reality of AI, what it does to our planet, these data centers, where they are, what they're doing, all these things I think are also going to be coming up as to, okay, well, we have choice in this. So it's this wonderful thing, but is it worth the price that our planet pays?
we've
Yeah,
only got one planet. It's
yeah.
this one.
And it's a pretty cool one, actually.
It's a very cool one. And my garden proves
Yeah,
it. It's full of
yeah,
flowers and
yeah,
bees and birds and stuff.
yeah.
So it's a very
Gorgeous.
cool planet, and we forget
Mm,
that and we take it for granted. And I know
yeah,
I've done that. I
yeah,
hold my hand up on that one. And it's
yeah,
how to, in fact, it was lovely. I went on a pilgrimage last weekend with a
yeah.
woman. She's called Meg, and she's passionate about cleaning up the River Avon, and she
Yeah.
has married the Avon. She
Oh, wow.
actually physically went and did. She called the Mistress of Avon. She
Oh, amazing.
married the Avon.
Yeah.
Yes, and there were
Okay.
about it was so uplifting. It was a
Yeah.
hard walk. It was from
Yeah.
Bristol to Bath, but it
Okay.
was full of young people
Yeah.
going, this is just what we need to do. These young, passionate
Mm.
people about the planet. And I said to one of them, I'm so sorry what we've done to it,
Yeah.
my generation and generations below. And he went,
Yeah. Yeah. But we still have a choice. We can still
yeah,
stand up and
yeah,
say, we choose our
yes,
planet. And all
yes,
the things, I mean, I'm looking at the garden and there's squirrels and the magpies and the crows and the
yeah.
ravens and the what's it, the one with the little hood, the
Oh, yeah, the jackdaws, they're
claw.
so
Yeah.
naughty. Yeah.
Very naughty. And the squirrel is chasing the pigeon away from the chicken food.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely to watch. I love
It
it.
is. It's blissful.
Yeah. Or the chickens chase them all
Simplicity.
away. Or yeah, it's a wonderful world that we have chosen to incarnate in this
We have.
time.
I
Yeah.
agree. And we need to be more Taurian now, I think, just
Yeah.
taking a moment and just going, all
Let's just
four
be.
hooves on the ground, going, munch, munch. This is
Yeah.
amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. And pushing all the ones people things that don't want to have this beautiful green
Yeah.
planet going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sue,
Okay.
we're in for a ride. Thank you so
We're in.
much.
Well, as you say, we've signed up for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've realized again to just calm my nervous system because I get very worked up and rushing, and it's just to breathe deep and do your
Yeah.
grounding.
There's a lovely technique I've learned, which is
Yeah.
very slowly, just going like that with your hands. It's so simple. And
Oh, wow.
immediately the effect comes down.
Yeah.
And then you just go like that.
Yeah.
That's it. Very slowly. And immediately, I can feel it now. The effect is
Yeah.
coming down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
It is also a choice we have, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. We
All
will
right.
see each other next month.
We will.
Mm.
Okay. Lots of love
Bye.
to all who's watched. Thank you.
Thank you.